Reese is back, just in time to talk Nationals and Geddon. Hi guys, welcome back to Casting Commons, the show where we talk and discuss all things Pauper. I am your host Teasdale, and this is my co-host, the skittering kitten himself, Reese.
Pardon?
I think that's what it's called. I might have misnamed it. It's the Through the Omen Pass version of the cat thing.
All right, it's Spider-Man card.
Yeah, that one.
All right, okay.
I'm sure that's what it's called. You've made me doubt myself.
Just sounds a bit odd, doesn't it?
It is called Skittering Kitten, and my doubt was misplaced. Before we start, please do not forget to support us by rating us 5 stars on Spotify, following us on Twitter at CastingCommons1 for the most recent deck lists, and of course, do not forget to subscribe us on YouTube. Firstly, I would also just like to thank Calicais for obviously filling the gap for Reese. Really appreciate the support. But as some people have said, we've got to bring Reese back. Reese is here, all not so sunned up, but enjoy your honeymoon. Had fun?
Yeah. I'm just absolutely knackered now, though. So if I fall asleep, that's why.
Time difference is real. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to dive straight into it. Go straight into the Pauper Thought of the Week, which is we're just going to do some Nationals and Geddon sort of predictions. We are going to, obviously, not a lot of, I don't want to say not a lot of thought, but a lot of the stuff of like that we're going to talk about is basically, it's a lottery, right? Anybody can win. Yeah. Any deck could basically win Geddon, right? There's a 1,000-player event. You picking the deck to win could be absolutely like picking a lottery number.
Yeah, I think even more so with how Pauper is at the moment. Like, a few years ago, we could have maybe predicted this quite well. But now, like, I'm looking at my Geddon picks. I'm like, well, I'm pretty happy with 2 of them. And then the other 2, I'm just like, it's just a stab in the dark. Like, the format's that open.
Yep. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to do what will win. What curveball deck, let's call it, like a deck that's obviously not off meta, let's say, or not as common, that we think is going to top 8, what we think is going to be the most registered deck for the event, and what is going to have the most represented top 32. And then we're going to do that for both Nationals and Geddon. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So we'll start with Geddon first, and we will say what we think will win, which is obviously a stab in the dark. Anything can win. But what do you think's going to win, Reese?
This was one of them that I wasn't massively confident on because, as you say, it's a pretty big guess, and everything at the moment is so varied. Like, you can basically play anything. I picked Grixis Affinity, but I sort of more think it'll just be something different. Like, usually Geddon, every Geddon, we see something just like completely unexpected win, whether it be the like FAMS one or that Gardens with Packdoll, that sort of come about for one of them, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then the like Boros Synth just like appeared for one. Like, I think it's more likely just to be something unexpected, which is why I picked Grixis Affinity, because just everyone seems to have forgotten about it.
Yeah, even though it's doing really well in the challenges as well.
Yeah.
Performing really well, but people just don't care and just brush it off. Yeah, it's Luffy, even though half the time it's not even Luffy. For mine, it's also sort of the same, but I went for Boros Synth, which is a deck that sort of previously won, or that sort of Skyfisher-esque package thing was why I was like, someone will bring it, someone will do well, and the Boros Moxite deck's doing quite well, even though it is the same pilot every time, but I still think this deck probably has legs, so it's probably worthwhile people playing, and that's why I think it's just going to squeeze in and win.
Yeah, I think the takeaway is it's a grindy mid-range deck is probably going to win.
Yeah. Curveball top 8?
I picked this as a curveball. I'm not sure if it is really a curveball, just because it basically top 8s every single Pauper Geddon. But I said FAMS.
I think
it's obviously not that highly played of a deck, but always seems to convert these tournaments very well.
Yeah, I think obviously Italians generally seem to like FAMS in some respect. They always like to put their own spin on it to an extent. They always play like the Merchant Scroll build, like the old school Adaptor build. And it seems to work really well for them, so it seems fair. But again, it's not very highly played, so I would still consider it a curveball.
This was one of my more confident picks, I think.
My curveball is probably to no one's surprise, let's be honest. Maybe it's some humble copium, but it's going to be Mogwarts. Not only does... I also know quite a few times that are drawn towards Mogwarts, like the Goblin combo deck. It has obviously just got new toys. I've heard people have sort of doing like 4-0 drops in testing and stuff, like the Giorgio combo walls and stuff. Maybe it's just that the hype's just sort of too high that, that's what people are doing. But you never know.
I'm surprised you didn't pick that for the win. I feel like it's sort of in a position now where it's just got a load of new toys and no one's quite figured out the list. Where it's like one of those decks that could be in a like, if it cracks the right way, it's in a good position to actually win.
Yeah. And
like if it turns out that the toys are actually the truth and not just noise.
On a side note, they actually do feel like the truth though. I'm not even joking you. Like, I've played like 4 leagues so far. Haven't managed to put a video out yet. Like, I've recorded like a video or 2, but not managed to put them out. But they just feel like the truth. They feel really strong. I was very surprised. But yeah. Side note, that's kind of why I put it in curveball top 8. I was like, I think they might crack the meta game. That they might get there. So, and it also wants to verse a lot of mid-range decks. So
yeah,
it's kind of the thought. Next one is most registered deck. I feel like this is pretty free, right, for both parties. I'd say one or the other.
I've picked Jund Wildfire. Obviously, it's in Italy, so Jund Wildfire will be the most registered deck. Whether it's the correct choice or not, a lot of those people are just going to pair into each other and go into the draw brackets and completely regret the choice. But that's what happens at Pauper Geddon, I guess.
So what you're saying is what my pick needs to do is draw the first game on purpose and then verse all the Jund Wildfires. Yeah. For reference, my pick is Spy Walls. Again, another deck favoured by quite a lot of Italians, which is always good. They're both pretty good decks. They're both sort of standalone, do their own powerful things. So I wouldn't be surprised if these are, if not first and second, they'll be pretty high up there.
Imagine if that's the strat, just draw round 1 and then just Spy Walls all the Jund Wildfires to death.
Yeah, that would be funny. Most copies in top 32.
I picked Red Black Madness for this one. It just seems to be picking up a lot of steam recently, and tends to be pretty highly played, like a pretty big deck of choice for these bigger tournaments. I'm not convinced it's actually that good of a deck at the moment, or has ever really been that good of a deck, to be honest. But people seem to like it. People seem to like what it does and how it plays. So
yeah, that's totally fair. Mine is Gardens. Basically, last few weeks it's obviously been making a big resurgence in challenges. As you'll see in these week's challenges, it's making a big resurgence. I think the deck's pretty well positioned right now as well. So both multiple different variants as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like the best performing deck in the top 32, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see that.
Moving on to Nationals. This one's a little bit different. Obviously, it's a 1-day event. So it's not like Geddon where it's 2 days. You've got, a lot of the time in 1-day events, generally the most registered can sort of tend to be the most in the top 32. Not always, but generally can be the case and stuff like that. There is a bit of differences, but still, we are going to do the exact same. And what do you think will win Nationals?
So I picked Gardens for Nationals. I feel like the meta is generally significantly different to Pauper Geddon meta, basically because it's not in Italy, so everyone's not on Jund Wildfire. The Gardens tends to look quite good into like UK metas.
Yeah, generally, yeah. Mine is Red Black Madness. For sort of similar, I don't know why I don't think it's particularly good, but again, I think people are drawn towards it quite a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if one will just verse like Mono Red Madness all day and just like farm them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Curveball top 8.
I picked Mono Black Sack for mine. I think, again, it's one of those decks, like creature decks in general, tend to shine quite a lot in UK events. Like, you see quite a lot of them. And Mono Black Sack is sort of a fringe favourite. I think quite a lot of people like it, and quite a lot more people play it than you would expect.
Yeah, I can get behind that, for sure. Solid deck too, and pulled up a lot of good results, got new cards fairly recently, so yeah.
Yeah.
My curveball top 8, drama excluded behind this deck, of course, is Blue-Red Skred. I think the deck's sort of in an okayish position. Some people kind of like to play it, sort of that or Jeskai Ephemerate to an extent, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did put up some results. Seems pretty well positioned at the moment.
I forgot Jeskai Ephemerate has existed,
Yeah,
it's been that long since we've seen any.
Well, you missed it last week. It squeezed into the top 8, to be fair.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it did. I was very surprised. The Rana, is it an Angelic Blessing? Is that the name of the card? Or Angel Song? Angel Song, that's the card.
Oh, the fog?
The fog that cycles. Yeah. The Rana one of Angel Song in the side. Yeah, in the main, sorry. Yeah, I was quite impressed. Pretty cool. Funny. Anyways, most registered deck. You got the free one.
Yeah, I've gone for the freebie of Elves here. It just seems to always be the most registered deck at UK events.
Yeah.
Very popular.
UK people like little green men. Pointy ears. Ayo. I went for a pretty boring one. Most registered being Mono Blue Terror. Probably arguably one of the best decks at the moment. So
I feel like I never really see Terror getting played at these events, though.
No.
It's sort of a weird one. Because I do agree, it's definitely probably the best deck at the moment, but people just don't seem to play it.
I think for me, I feel like the thing is though, everyone was on like the Jund Wildfire hype, like for the past year or so, like playing Chrysalis, Refurb, all that sort of stuff. So these like bigger events, everyone was leaning towards Jund Wildfire. I feel like the hype's died down and people have realised it's actually just an okay deck and not that good. I feel like people are going to actually then go, oh, Terror's the big deck. Maybe. So I could see that. That's maybe that's sort of my argument. Most in top 32.
Yeah, we can't avoid it forever in the UK. Jund Wildfire is my pick for that.
So yeah,
for some reason people like to play that deck.
I could definitely see, like, as I say, the hype doesn't die down. People just still stick with it. Oh, we're really good part. Like, we've learned the deck. All this sort of stuff. I could definitely get behind it and understand that for sure. Mine in most top 32 is sort of the same as Reese's most registered sort of thing. It's basically Elves. If it's not the most registered, I wouldn't be surprised if it's most in top 32 because it generally seems A, quite well positioned at the moment, and B, a lot of people love Elves.
Yeah, it'd be good if we can convert to be most in top 32, it would be fair.
For sure. So, if you would like to also do the same for Geddon or Nationals, please do not forget to join the Discord or just send us a comment in the Spotify or YouTube, whatever you want. Obviously, a great way just to interact with us. Let us know what your list would be, and that is what will win Curveball Top 8, most registered, and most in top 32. Look forward to reading them, to be fair, because always a good discussion point. Happy moving to tournament news?
Yeah.
So, we have the big one, of course. Nationals is here. Saturday, the 29th of November, that is this coming weekend at Secret Space in Birmingham with 210 player cap. And we have got over 160 tickets sold so far.
Very good.
That'd be pretty insane if we can top 170 for the weekend. Still, 160 is over 160 is a pretty good going. Going to be a mental event. Prizes guaranteed up to top 32 as well, and there's player mats as well for sale when you arrive. Link, of course, is. Then we have the same weekend, which is quite late. They didn't add it till this week, so bit of a shame. But I have let them know if they do want to let us know further, like for future events, let us know way before. We can really hype these events up. So it's Pauper Fest in Hungary, November the 29th. Link is in the description. They seem to be popping off over there, so it's obviously great to see that these events are making it here. Pauper 1K in Portland, Mox Boarding House on the 13th of December. Again, all the details is in the description of the podcast. Then we have Pauper Wonderland Chicago, 14th of December. They have like a collection as well for like neighborhood aid / food pantry. So it's always cool and nice to go to these events because you can not only get to play the greatest game on earth, but also you get to give some of them back as well, which is always nice. So the link for that is in the description. Again, finally, another charity event as well. Upstate New York Pauper charity event. 20th of December. The link is in the description. If you are interested in even donating to the prize pool or even donating whatever, I think there's Calicais and Strata Games has done a deck donation as a prize as well. You can, I think part of the entry, you have to give 2 pieces of food towards it or something as well. Cool. So it's another good way of giving back as well. Great to see all those over the pond. Moving on to some news. We had we had a bunch of challenges last week. I think it was last week. I think we had one like every other week for this Saturday special and all that sort of stuff. But due to the success of the Thursday challenge, they have now permanently added a challenge every week on Thursday.
That's pretty cool.
So we now have more challenges to cover. Pretty sweet. We also give away this month. I did do it off air because I realised the date and I was like, oh crap, I need to give these play points out quickly. I also had some spare. So we had 3 winners this week. They are in the Discord. It was Hardmaster Dave, Finn, and PG Bruin. So congrats to them. Doing really well. Or you can also enter these giveaways by joining the Discord, submitting hot takes, giving us Pauper thoughts, etc. So it's obviously a great way, obviously, to interact with us and being with a chance to win some 120 play points or even some card market credit. I didn't say the it at the end of that. I was forgot how to speak. Yeah. That's all the housekeeping out the way. Should we talk some challenges?
Yeah. See if I can still do this after 3 weeks off. And a Thursday challenge. So the first one, obviously starting, is the Thursday the 20th of November. 42 players, so decent turnout. First place, Gardens. Second place, Rally Red. Third place, June Wildfire. Fourth and fifth, a pair of Grixis Affinity. 6th, Rakdos Madness, 7th, Elves, and 8th, Mono Red Madness. And then the 2 near misses, 9th was another copy of Mono Red Madness, and 10th was Gardens. In terms of sort of interestingness, I guess the 8th place Mono Red Madness is a pretty cool one to start with. Running 3 Witches marks instead of, I'm assuming, 2 Faithless Lutons and something, a land. Maybe.
There's no Epicures in this list either.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm assuming it's an amount of Epicures and then a land, maybe.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't actually know what's super changed, to be fair.
But yeah, so basically the Witch's Mark is another 2 mana sorcery. Discard a card if you do draw 2 cards. But this creates a Wicked Roll token attached to 1 target creature you control. And it basically gives the creature +1/+1, and when it dies, it drains them for 1, I believe. Yeah, interesting one. I'm not entirely sure on what that's for. I guess putting it on a sneaky snacker seems fine. But also something like that sort of makes Epicures make more sense, but there's no Epicures.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought on that, right? Is it's not even like you can't even do like trick things with it, like by putting it on something of theirs and killing it and, you know, making them lose 1 that way or out like that. It's literally only on your creature and then you've just cut 4 creatures.
Yeah, and it's a sorcery.
Yeah.
Sure. It's interesting to see these different cards sort of be trialed, but I'm not massively sold on that one, especially without the Epicures.
Yeah, I think with the Epicure, I can kind of be sold on it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think over the...
Other than that, there wasn't too much spicy. The Elves in 7th was trying Monstrous Emergence, which is a card from Duskmourn in the sideboard. It's essentially like a green burn spell, really. It's 1 green sorcery. As an additional cost, you choose a creature you control or reveal a creature from your hand, and it deals damage equal to the power of the chosen or revealed card to target creature. So if you've got a big Hydra or have pumped something with a Timberwatch, it's pretty good on board. And then if you've just got like a Ent or a Sagging Wildling or something in your hand, you can use it from hand as well. quite a, I guess, a versatile removal spell for green, really.
My only thing about this, right, is I really like this card, and I really like the fact that it can also do by revealing a creature card from your hand. But to me, the big selling point of that is having Generous and Avenging Hunter in the deck. To obviously make that, 2 mana deal 5 is fairly important.
Yeah.
But they don't have any Avenging Hunters in this deck. There's no Avenging
No,
Hunters
they've basically maxed Sagos instead. They've went 4 Sagos rather than like a 2-2 split.
Yeah, which is the only thing about that. Like, I really like the idea of the card, but that's my only thing that sort of stands out is you want to maximize 2 mana 5 damage surely from your hand.
I guess it depends what does the damage need to be most often. Does it need to be 5? Like, you're not that bad against Terra. It'll be interesting to know what, because like you would bring this in, for example, in the mirror, which you need like 1. It's just like a 2 mana deal 1 to something that is good enough. It'd be interesting to know how often this comes in and what the damage needs to be for it to work.
Yeah, I just feel like the bit like obviously if you bring it in for the mirror, right? Obviously, there's obviously better options like Ram Through does a better job, all that sort of good stuff.
Yeah.
If you're bringing it against like removal decks that can sort of clog the board, maybe stuff like maybe I don't know Riven Chrysalis decks or like Grill Stompy or potentially Jump Wildfire to deal with Chrysalis and stuff. You want to deal 5 to the Riven Chrysalis is more my thought.
To be fair, in the mirror, I think there's probably situations where this is quite a bit better than Ram Through. Like if you're on the draw, for example, and you don't lead on a 1-drop, like you could want to cast this onto a killer priest. Like if they just go turn 2 priest.
Yeah.
If you're using like an actual fight spell, you can't deal with that. Whereas this, you can just reveal a card from your hand.
Yeah. I could
but
see
yeah,
that
it'll be interesting to know how high it needs to scale. I imagine like you can hit 5 pretty frequently. Like you've got 4 Timber Watches, you've got 4 Generous Ents, you've got 4 Hydras. Like even without the 2 Avenging Hunters, but obviously it would make it more consistent if you also had 2 Hunters.
Yeah, that's my main. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not that it's like unplayable without Avenging Hunter, but that's my main thought. Is just if you don't want your removal spell to be able to be like 2 for 1 by interaction and stuff, and if you're wanting to hit like Chrysalis or stuff like that just clog up your board, it just like I don't know. I could see it getting a bit awkward. That's all. Like you need then 4 Ents to basically deal with that, and you're usually going to cycle them early.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Fair. It is cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I definitely am. I'm all for this card, and I really think it probably does have a place in Elves. The more I think about it, but I do think it probably needs. It just needs to be figured out what it's there for, which is cool.
Outside of that, there wasn't too much really that interesting. The Grixis Affinities were basically just complete mirrors of each other, right? All very close. They had like 1 toxin different. But there was nothing really new being tried by Luffy or Spock there. The Rally Red, again, it's sort of the list that has gone back to playing Synth, although it was only 3 Synths, and it's got 3 Chain Lightners as some extra burn. But nothing particularly spicy. Gorilla Shaman is back in the sideboard, which is interesting. It's been a while.
Gotta respect that Grixis Affinity.
Yeah. Anything else from you, or do you want to move on to the Friday?
Just a quick mention that the 6th place Madness list is running Tomb Raider in the sideboard, which is pretty interesting. As a 3 of. Has gone back to like the Galv Blast sort of artifact list. So it's got the 4 Great Furnace, 4 Vaults, and then like 3 Tomb Raiders to suit, as well as Galv Blast, which is interesting. Just in case.
It'd be interesting to know if they got by that Gorilla Shaman in the rally list. Yeah, that it is an interesting one to like commit to the Tomb Raider, but in the sideboard, like you're changing essentially your full deck to be able to play Galv Blast and Tomb Raider, and then just only playing the Galv Blast in the main. Only 3 Sneaky Snackers as well, so it's like really light on creatures and just really heavy on burn, and draw spells.
Yeah, I think the big pull for me is likely Spy Walls is the reason why it's gone back to Galv Blast. Having an answer for Overgrown Battlement pretty early is probably
it's big.
important. I would guess. That would be my thought for why Galv Blast, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is all I have.
Cool. Moving on to the Friday challenge. Friday the 21st with 55 players. So a pretty sizable Friday challenge. First place, Grix Affinity. Second place, Mono Blue Fate. Third place, Grix Affinity. Fourth place, Bogles. Fifth place, Mono Red Madness. Sixth place, Mono Blue Terror. Seventh place, Grixis Affinity. And eighth, Mono Red Madness. And then the two near misses, ninth was a Rally Red, and 10th was a Pest Gardens. Lots of Grixis Affinity.
Yes.
But the people seem to be definitely taking it back up. And it usually seems to be Luffy's list with his weird, like, one of Blowgun and one of Cryogen Relic and stuff like that. It's everyone seems to be pretty on board with that. It's the Grixis Affinity list. Yeah,
for the most part, yeah, definitely. It's pretty funny how they take, for the most part, like they take his list, but you can't break perfection, right?
Outside of the pile of Grixis Affinity, Bogles sort of making a bit of a return is quite cool to see. Nothing particularly new. A couple of Ramproos in the main. That's basically it. Even in the sideboard, sort of fairly stock. Some Arms of Hadar, which I guess is a bit of a weird one from a Bogles deck, but you got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do, indeed.
And then sort of the most interesting one, I guess, is the one you highlighted, the 8th place from Mazerboy, the Mono Red Madness. I don't know if you want to go over that.
Well, to be fair, this sort of the 8th place list is not the change list, right? I just kind of want to highlight the that they are thinking about things here. That we will elaborate in the next challenge exactly what the logic is moving forward, but they've cut down they went 4 Gutter Snipes and then cut down a Kessig down to 3, and then cut a Faithless down to 3. Basically, their argument is that they believe that they're the worst cards in the deck. There are often like traps and things like that. You don't often flashback your looting. It's more, all that sort of good stuff. They can never really trigger Snacker, like grab the prize and stuff like that can. So that was sort of the argument for trying these changes. And obviously paid off to some extent. Madness did Mono Red Madness did Madness things, right? And obviously just popped off. But the sort of changes will go through in is it the Sunday spoilers? Yeah, the Sunday challenge.
And then I guess a final one, just touching on the 6th place, Mono Blue Terror list. This is sort of the new style. Well, I say a new style of Terror. It's like a tweaked style of Terror that we seem to be seeing quite a bit of at the moment. Where it's basically cut all 4 Delvers in favour of 2 Murmur Mystics and I think like an extra Ponder and an extra land or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? I don't really know the pros and cons of it. I'm not like a Terror expert, but it looks like obviously the cut the nonsense of the split with the Dispels and the Spell Pierce and stuff.
Yeah,
4 spikes and then just 2 Murmur Missing, which I think I have zero real opinion. I don't really know which one's better or which one's worse. I imagine making a bunch of 1/1s in the mid to late game will stabilize you when everything in your deck basically costs 1.
Yeah,
I guess.
Back up to the 2 deep analysis as well, just to like cement that sort of more control-y game plan.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I'm indifferent on if you're on Delver or Murmur Mystic, to be honest, but you have fun regardless.
I am a fan of Delver.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I am a fan of Delver. But it is cool to see, it is cool to see like Mono Blue Terror essentially still developing in very different ways.
I do obviously want to mention the 10th place Pest Gardens. This is True Name Nemesis, Truffaz, a French player who did well with Geddon, with Gardens when they put a Vengeance Hunter in it way back when. They are playing 3 Cauldron Familiars and 3 Pestilence, basically, and then a bunch of food, Nutrient Blocks, Lembus, Heaped Harvest, all that sort of stuff. Been doing really well with it, to be fair. I do believe the MTGO or something crashed last round or something like that, and that's why they didn't top 8 or something along them lines. They did.
Sounds like an excuse.
Yeah, did a tweet or a post about it or whatever, but it's fairly interesting though. I don't know if I prefer this list. I think the big thing that I like about it though is Terra's quite popular, and it's a deck that, as much as it should be a good matchup, you can often just get cheesed out of it because Terra does Terra things, and Cauldron Familiar notoriously makes that matchup better.
Yeah.
So it just helps that. And then obviously because you run that, you can run Pestilence. I don't know how much better Pestilence is a win con compared to Cauldron Familiar, compared to like traditional gardens, but having Cauldron Familiar in itself is pretty reasonable. Some other cards in the deck are definitely questionable, but
yeah. Can we touch on the one of Doomblade and one of Go for the throws?
I was sort of alluding to that, but not really. I really don't like the one of those at all.
It's been a long time since I've seen Doomblade see play. I feel like it might have been M10 standards.
Yeah. I just don't understand it. Like, you've already got 4 cast downs, don't get me wrong. There is about, 10 other removal spells I'd probably be putting in my deck before I put either Doomblade or Go for the throw in my deck.
Yeah, there's no Snuff Outs, there's no Defiles, there's no Spin in Darkness. Yeah, there's no Ghastly Demise. There's a lot of All-Stars missing, and then there's a Doomblade and a Go for the throat.
Yeah, I just don't understand where 2-mana situational removals where you draw the line. Like, I feel like I'd play a Defile over a Doomblade. Like, you've still got, 11? 11 swamps?
11 swamps and a troll.
Like, I'd take it hitting a 2-2 or a 3-3. Like, it's
and 2 Heaped Harvest
and
to pull out swamps. Yeah, interesting.
Interesting indeed. That's all I've got.
Moving on to the Saturday challenge then. Saturday the 22nd of November. 48 players. First place was Gardens. Second place was Heroic. Third place was Jund Wildfire. Fourth place was Mono Blue Terror. Fifth place was White Weenie. Sixth was Mono Red Dredge. Seventh was Mono Blue Terror. And eighth was Mono Red Madness again. And then the 2 near misses, 9th was Pest Gardens and 10th was Rug Fair. You seem to be in deep concentration there.
I was really confused at why I was at the wrong... I'd highlighted the wrong person on Saturday. Sorry. I was like, wait, what? I had accidentally marked Blucky's Mono Red Madness finish as a Marza Boy, and I was like, wait, what? Sorry, my bad.
I guess starting at the top, second place, Heroic. Just out of nowhere. It's the weird Homestead Courage Sandstone Bridge Wonderweave's Aerialist build, right? With the solid footings. I think it's basically the same main deck as we've seen previously, with the weird number of creatures as well, with the 3 Armadillos, 3 Aerialists, 3 Elites, and 4 Trailblazers.
I feel like the Elites were in the side, right?
Oh, were they?
I think so, and I'm trying to think what the other creature was. Was it not that sky thing?
Oh, it was Skyguard, wasn't it? Yeah, it's basically they've taken out 3 Skyguard for 3 Deathblade Elites.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I don't hate. I like Deathblade Elite.
I still just hate the 3-3-3-4. Pick one. Pick a lane.
The 2 Sandstone Bridges.
Well, at least it's gone to 2. I'm much happier about that. They've cut a Sandstone Bridge, so that's made me happier. That's for sure. Still only got 3 Homestead Courages as well, because reasons. But yeah, they're making changes in the right direction, just not right enough. Seems to be doing well. Does well. Wolf 77 or 777's been popping off with it as well, so seems pretty good. It did top 8 while you're away as well, with Wolf 777 popping off.
Sick.
Deck's good.
Moving down, the 4th place Mono Blue Terror from Luminati is basically like a halfway house, I guess, between the actual normal Mono Blue Terror and the Murmur Mystic Mono Blue Terror that we've just spoken about. It still has the 4 Delvers in, but it also still has the 2 Mystics and the 4 Ponders in. And it's basically cut. It's not on the 4 spikes, it's just on the 2 Dispels.
Yeah.
So it's basically come at the cost of, I believe, the deep analysis and the 2 other 1-mana counter slots, so whether it be 4 spike or spell pierce, have been removed for 2 Murmur Mystics and an extra Ponder. I
do love the fact that they basically went, you know what I need to do with Delver? I need to make it hit less and add some.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I guess you've went up on Ponders as well, though, so it's like a lot easier maybe to set up more often. But yeah, it is interesting to see the position Terra's in, because it very much feels like it's a deck that at the moment doesn't need to be changing, but for some reason just is.
Yeah. Maybe it just needs to grind a bit more, I don't know, maybe Murmur Mystic is the truth. People just need to grind a bit more with it or something, I don't know. It's very strange, for sure. For sure.
Then the other spiciness in the top 8, the 6th place Mono Red Dredge. It's been a while, and it's got sort of new toys with the Spider-Man card.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, what's new?
It's sort of new, right?
Yeah. But, yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Skitter and Kitten.
I can't believe I just set you up for what's new, Pussycat, and you just walked right over it. That was free.
Yeah, sure.
That was so, come on. The dad jokes.
But yeah, this is basically just a neonate, right? But it has haste instead of menace.
Yes.
Which is pretty relevant. Like, you're probably more likely to get the 1 damage through off the top or earlier, get more damage through with haste than you are with menace at the moment. Yeah, interesting. I don't think the creature type's any differently relevant. Spider Cat Hero? Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not differently relevant. Anything else sort of new about this deck? I know you've played quite a bit of Mono Red Dredge.
No, essentially the Neonate was like a 2 of, right? And they've took that up as a 4 of, and it looks like it's come at the cost of like a Cathartic Reunion and something else.
Yeah.
But I'm unsure what that other thing is.
It's interesting that Epicure's still sort of staying there as like the main 4 of for the 1-mana slot as well. I didn't know if this kitten, having access to this kitten, might mean you can go 4 kitten, 4 neonate and have just like the sack plan.
I think
but I guess the body staying around of the Epicure is probably quite relevant.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's mainly the body staying around, right? For Dread Return and such. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see. The deck just wins out of nowhere, right? This deck is just like, you could literally have no creatures on board and 4 or 5 mana, and then all of a sudden they're just dead.
Yeah.
You hear good dredge and they're just dead. Which is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Other than that, sort of not a massive amount. I guess there's this 10th place Rug Fearless from Pauper, right?
Yeah.
Any thoughts? I feel like we've touched on this before, right? This was the weird pile with like Generous Ents, Oliphant, like Fairy Seer, Spellstutter Sprite, 1 Moon Circuit Hacker, 3 Mass Vandals, 3 Ninja the Deep Hours, like there's a 1-off Crimson Fleet Commodore, 2 Ogre Bolasses, like it literally just looks like someone's ticked random numbers and put them all in a deck.
It's like, if Baco is like a content creator to this extent, I would literally think he's like got a thumbnail coming up as like ChatGPT made my deck.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
The numbers are wild. There's 3 Brainstorms, there's 3 Lorians.
Yeah.
3 Lightning Bolts, like all these cards that you would just automatically put 4 of, there's just 3 of.
Gotta have space for the Mass Vandal Spellstutter Sprite 1-more combo, clearly.
Yeah, it's quite funny like how much land cyclers there are in it as well, with there's 3 Lorians, 4 Generous Ents, and Oliphants.
Yeah.
Make sure you get all your land drops forever.
It's also I actually find it strange how they've led on 3 Lorians. To be fair, is the interesting thing, right? Because obviously you need a creature in the bin for Mass Vandal, and that's kind of seems like what it wants to be doing. I'm like, well, why is it only on 3?
But you also want to get an island.
Yeah.
And Oliphant's, not it really in this deck. Like, you basically get to tap land or the 1-of mountain.
Yeah, it's a funny deck, right? It's obviously just either trying to spell stutter the crap out of someone to the point where they just rage concede, or it's going to Mass Vandal the crap out of someone so they have no lands and then rage concede.
Yeah.
Sure. Just shows.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Shows Luffy can win with anything.
Gorilla Shaman again in the sideboard as well.
Gotta respect the Luffy life affinity.
It's Baker.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You gotta respect Luffy with affinity and everyone with affinity. Yeah.
Yeah, Luffy was 1 place behind.
Yeah.
With Grixis affinity.
Probably a loss to that Gorilla Shaman.
The only other thing I want to touch on is slightly further outside the top 10. Only just with 12th place from Ravager.pe, but it's basically like the All That Glitters deck without all the glitters. But they've put black in for refurb, which seems to make a lot of sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's basically the Ninja Ornithopter Springleaf Drum deck. With white's obviously for your Thraben and your Novice Inspectors, but there's now 4 Vault of Whispers and a couple of Mist Vault Bridges for refurbs, plus sideboard cards. But
glitterless glitters, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like this deck still does quite well because it just doesn't have that punch anymore, but the like little bits of card advantage plus Mer Enforcer seems to just be just about enough to get you there.
Yeah, with some Thraben Charms and Rebuke sort of passing you off.
Yeah. I guess it's got slightly less draw power than normal, right? With only 4 thought casts, no of one minds. I guess that's maybe the cost for the refurbs.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Glad it's doing well. It seems to be putting up some random results here and there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning.
Sunday?
Yeah. Moving on to the Sunday the 23rd, 57 players, so not quite back to our 64 player Sundays. First place, Mono Red Madness from Marzaboy. Second place, Boros Moxite. Third place, Mono Blue Terror. Fourth place, Elves. Fifth place, Black White Blade. Sixth place, Mono Blue Terror. Seventh, Mono Red Madness. And 8th, Spywalls. And then the 2 near misses, 9th was Ponza and 10th was Gardens. Pretty spicy one, to be fair.
Where would you like to start?
I guess may as well start at the top with Marzaboy's Mono Red Madness, which is nowhere near the same as the Mono Red Madness from Friday.
Yeah, so I think I luckily, to be fair, I did actually get a voice note off Marzaboy. I did ask the question, like, what the hell was going on with this list? What was the logic behind a lot of the cards? So essentially, there's only 8 sorceries in the deck, 4 Grab the Prize, 4 Highway Robbery. There is no Faithless Looting in the deck. And then the deck is basically 4 Gutter Snipe, 4 Sneaky Snacker, and then a bunch of one-of creatures. It's running 4 Epicures, 4 Skittering Kitten, and then 3 Reckless Lackey, which again probably seems out of place for a lot of people, to be fair, and myself included. And also, what's the logic behind this list? And then it's on 4 ofs, what you'd expect: Bolt, Temper, Lava Dart, and then 3 Fire Blasts as well. And essentially, the logic was that Faithless Looting doesn't get flashbacked a lot. It doesn't trigger Snacker like the rest of the stuff does. You end up pitching the Snacker, and then you have to find other ways to do it. All that sort of stuff. But you're also not getting damage while you're doing it. Where Skittering Kitten does that. You can basically get early damage and then change it into a Sneaky Snacker when obviously the time's up. Same with the Reckless Lackey, gets in early damage, being effectively all Epicure, Lackey, and Skittering Kitten effectively have haste, right? They all deal 1 damage. And you can turn them all into cards later on when you need to just churn. The reason they didn't want Flame Breather in the deck is they often feel like the card's a trap. You end up committing a bunch of your burn spells when you've got a Flame Breather in hand. Oh, sorry, in play. When you don't actually want to do that because you want to wait for Gun Snipe. Which makes sense, to be honest. That's one thing that does make sense. But yeah, it seems to obviously perform well. End up coming first. Really impressed with the list. Lackey's probably the weakest card in the deck, but still did a lot of good heavy lifting.
Yeah, the Lackey definitely looks like the most sort of suspect card to me. But I really like this idea. I liked the Epicure a lot in Mono Red Madness for just like chip damage. And essentially getting to play 8-ish Epicures. Obviously, if you could just play actually 8 Epicures, it'd be much better. But the Skitter and Kitten sort of seems like a reasonable card to fill that Epicure 5 through 8 role. Yeah, I like it a lot. Get the idea behind the Lackey. I wonder whether something like Neonate might also fit that slot. Although, like you say, the Menace is much worse than Haste. It's sort of a bit of an awkward one, but yeah, I really like this list. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I really like the idea of it. That was my exact same question to him as well. Was that why not Neonate over Lackey? And the response was basically the 1 damage is much more.
Yeah.
I get the logic, and I really do. But that's a thing that I really do that a lot of people probably don't respect as much is Mazaboy's decisions, even though all his decisions look absolutely mental. Like, you look at this list and you're like, what the hell is this pile? Same with Dredge when they went to the like Shimmer and Grotto, everything's like Shimmer and Grotto Springleaf drum list with the blink effects and stuff like that. As soon as he articulated exactly his thoughts behind it, everything just like slotted into place. Seems to be doing things with actual like conviction. Is that the word? Is that the thing? Like reasoning and understanding. It's pretty impressive, to be fair. Come to this conclusion, for sure.
Moving on, the Boros Moxite that you've been singing the praises of in second place.
Yeah,
quite an interesting list as well, with a few like choice numbers. I'll say with three lightning bolts, 3 galvanic blasts, a 1 of Destroy Evil, and then only 2 strands is an interesting number of instants to sort of be on. The mana base as well is sort of a bit wild. We've obviously got the Galv Blast in the deck, but the mana base isn't like focused to enable Galv Blasts. There's 2 Ancient Dens and 2 Great Furnaces, and that's basically it. The rest is just like Radiant Fountain, Windscarred Crag, Kabira Crossroads, like.
Yeah, they've definitely made some changes since I played. Not massively, right? They've added the Radiant Fountains and the Kabira Crossroads from memory. They were on the 3/3/2 of Galv Blast, Bolt and Strands. They have added the Destroy Evil and the Dawnbringer Cleric. But again, my main concern was originally, like, you've got 3 Galv Blasts in, but none of your lands are helping. So half the time, you can't, like, the whole idea we were talking about earlier with Madness, being able to, maximize on these artifact lands to be able to, kill an Overgrown Battlement early, or kill, like, a, Wall of Roots early, or just something big. Generally, like, you don't have that access to that at all. Like, this Galv Blast is going face for 4 on turn 9 to 15. Other than that, it's doing nothing. That's my problem with that. That's my biggest problem with this deck. And a bit of Reunion as well.
Yeah, because there's only the 4 Inspectors as well. There's no Thraben Inspectors. There's just 4 Novice Inspectors, so you don't even get, like, that much extra gas there for the Galv Blast. Interesting to see in the sideboard a Rest for the Weary as well, making a bit of a comeback. That's quite an old sideboard staple from Pauper, which is a 2-mana instant where you gain 4 life. If you've played a land, you gain 8 life instead.
Yeah, pretty interesting. But deck's pretty sweet. This pilot's the only person I've ever seen. Like, whenever we covered this deck, this is the pilot playing it. So they're doing something right. I think it's one of them things of this deck looks weird and can't really be played properly to the outside looking in, but they've got their own style of playing this deck, and it's sort of like in this bubble of them doing well with it, if you know what I mean, is how it seems to me. But congrats to them, for sure.
The third place list from Illuminati, once again, the Mono Blue Terror. is again not the same as the one from, was it the the Saturday challenge, which they came fourth. They've basically cut for all 4 ponders in favour of 2 deep analysis and 2 more 1 mana counter spells, and then they've went on the full 4 spikes rather than dispel spell pierce split. But still on 4 delvers, 2 memory mystics.
Sure. I've no like thoughts on this. I just find it funny how Luminati in particular is just changing this list so much, and it's like 4 cards here, 4 cards there. I actually have no idea what's better at this point. I don't know if they're at the point where now they're overtuning for the sake of overtuning, which could be a problem, but I don't know. It seems to be working.
It's interesting to see just no ponders. Ponder's such sort of a safe card for Terra. Like, they get so much out of it. To cut completely is interesting, but it's like, if you got to cut something, I guess.
Yeah.
5th place, Black White Blade, I guess, is an interesting one. There's a lot of spicy ones in this Sunder challenge.
If you haven't seen Mr. Twin, obviously, avid grinder, creator, all that sort of stuff, did tweet about this after they did well, saying they absolutely detested their challenge. They were the last people playing multiple times, multiple rounds, scathing in to get tiny bits of advantage and all this sort of stuff. They managed to obviously do well, but they were basically like, I hate this. Do not play this deck.
Not recommended to play Black White Blade then.
Yeah. Funny though.
Yeah. There wasn't really that much standout from the list. Like, they weren't really trying anything particularly new, but it was just sort of interesting to see someone actually playing the deck.
Yeah. Funny. Nothing too crazy. The keeper gangs in the main, which is fairly common nowadays, right?
Yeah.
They were on offering instead, more offerings and less insights out of the 4, I guess, is probably the most interesting thing. Most of them go the other way, I think, from memory. But yeah, that's about as interesting as it gets.
The 7th place, Mono Red Madness, sort of taken a bit of a leaf out of Mars Boy's book with 3 Skitter and Kittens, no Kessig Flame Breathers in the main as well. Still on 4 Faithless Lutins, so not completely committed to that, but interested to see 2 people basically trying to remove Flame Breathers.
I like the idea. Pretty interesting, for sure.
And then I guess the final thing to touch on is the 9th place list from Baco is Ponza.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
And it has Stone Rain in.
I'm out of options. I have no idea what's going on here. I don't. Was there some big non-Pauper event on or something that meant Baco needed to get 3 wins and win in 10 minutes or something? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's like fully committed to the Ponza as well. It's basically just the full 8 wild growth effects, the 4 Arbor Elves, and then like max Cascaders, max Ponza.
Honestly, the only thing I don't like about this list is it runs a Wooded Ridgeline. That's the only thing I really don't like about this list. Other than that, this is probably as Ponza as I'm down for Ponza as much as you can.
Yeah, the one of Ridgeline, I guess, is a bit of a concession to the Acid Moss. Obviously, there's only 2 Generous Ents, so you're not really getting it that often with the Generous Ents. But yeah, Acid Moss is it's sort of free value if you've just got that Ridgeline in your deck, so you may as well get that value, I guess.
Yeah, obviously my argument is always like tap land on turn 1 just ruins your game plan. Like,
yeah, there's only one.
You've played Magic Online before, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Don't put it in your deck, otherwise you'll always see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's the only thing. Deck looks fairly solid.
One of Stone Rain's an interesting one to be on. Obviously, we've seen I can't remember the name of it, the one that exiles an artifact or destroys a land.
Yeah.
Seen a bit of play, but actual factual Stone Rain just being in the deck. Structural
Tissot.
distortion maybe, or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, just actual stone rain plus 4 altar saws, 4 boredom parties. Yeah, it's interesting to see and cool to see that Baker's sort of playing something completely different than we would have expected.
I like it how Rug Fairies is sort of in his wheelhouse over here, and that's sort
of still blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still blue, it's still fairies, it's still spell stutter and all that sort of stuff. But then there's like over here on Ponza, like an actual established deck. I'm like, the fuck you playing at?
Maybe he just cycled Generous Ent for a forest, and he was like, I want to do that more.
Yeah, that's what it is. I like cycling my Generous Ent. Also, 4 Cannonade in the board.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. Like, I'd assume they've got breath weapons, like, you know, they play a Magic Online to no extent. So it can't really be a budget option. I'm assuming they just copied a list and didn't really think about it.
It's a weird one. Like, you've got boredom parties, so it sort of protects that a bit against lava darts. Because you're probably like against madness, especially if you're seeing these madnesses with like snackers and kittens and gutter snipes. Like, you're probably bringing Cannonade in that matchup. But also, I feel like it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, at the moment, like, no one's really playing Tomb Raider. What we've seen, 1 rally list in 4 challenge top 10s. Yeah, and the rest were like madness.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Like, it could definitely come up, but I feel like compared to when everyone switched to breath weapon, where basically it was Kuldotha and every Kuldotha had 4 Tomb Raiders, it's not anywhere near that level of relevance anymore.
You say this, and now the mainstay madness has 3 lackeys in, because obviously Marza Boy speaks the truth.
Yeah.
That's it. Moving forward.
But Lackey's not a pirate, is he?
Yeah. Lackey's a pirate. He's a goblin pirate.
Oh, is he? He's also a pirate.
Yeah, he's a pirate. He's a pirate.
I thought it was just the Tomb Raider that was a pirate.
No. Yeah. But yeah, you are right though, in all seriousness though. Like, yeah, there's not much rally, but it's like, it depends on what's worth, right? In all seriousness. Like, is it worth protecting your boredom party over a lava dart compared to Verse and Rally? Like, I guess it depends how dead you think Rally is, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Pretty cool.
Or how relevant you think the 2 damage on a boredom party will be, yeah. Because obviously it's a boredom party, it's dying to basically any burn spell.
Yeah.
But maybe just cutting out to it dying to lava dart is maybe relevant. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Interesting, sure.
Also, it's still much cheaper than breath weapon, right?
Yeah. That was my thought, but obviously I can't imagine for Baker it's a cost consideration. It might be the list that they've copied or something or whatever. But yeah, interesting note.
Anything else you want to touch on, or do you want to move on? No,
nothing else from me. Touching on now, we'll go to the hot takes from last week. I sort of was tracking this one, first of all, that the Avatar lessons we'll see playing Mogwarts from PG Bruin, and I said I'd track it until, like, obviously, for a while. We did see the first week challenge, Baker, I think it was, played Mogwarts with the lessons in the sideboard. That's the only Mogwarts seen play in the top 32 over the past 2 weeks, and we had 5 challenges last week and 4 this week. So the answer is technically yes, because they did have the lessons, but there's also no one playing Mogwarts right now. So I'm going to say yes.
Not a good sign, is it really?
It's all right. They're all 4-0 dropping for Geddon. Don't you worry.
Copium.
The next one was, I'm not even going to be able to say this one. Purple, what the hell's that word? Penthopus? Right?
Sure.
Yeah? Penthopus?
Yeah.
Will debut in Mono Black Sack next week. That did not happen. That was from Mark Pinder.
Oh, that's the like the resemblance skeleton type card.
Yeah. That's Scry's one or Surveil's one or something.
Yeah, that card is not good.
I don't even know why I'm taking over here. We usually alternate on these things, but I just started just reading them.
Yeah, go for it. I'll just comment.
The next one was that lessons will be played in other non-first day class decks. That was from David Royale. Not yet, basically. Again,
Yeah.
that could be something that, in all seriousness, that genuinely could be something that does come out of Geddon, or like a bigger event.
A lesson deck.
Yeah, like a lesson deck. Like the lessons are borderline decent, and also the learn, like something like pop quiz, hunt for specimens, a sort of like cram session are all borderline not awful.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because other than really first day class being a combo enabler, all the other learn cards are basically just bad. Like, you wouldn't play them if they didn't have learn on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think the lessons are sort of the same. Like, apart from maybe like the blue-red hybrid one that's just a discard draw 2 in blue. All the others are just sort of, you wouldn't play them unless there's a lesson on them. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one. Not like none of them are just, this is a playable card I will put 4 in my deck.
Yeah, that's a thing though, right? None of them are really, this is really playable, but it's like all of these cards together makes this one mediocre card. Like, this could be anything. If you know what I mean? Like, Hunt for Specimens can be, this is my random fodder I can sacrifice the Fanatical Offering and then get all of these things. You know, like get a naturalize, get a removal spell, get a this, get that. Like, so that's the borderlineness about it, where I wouldn't be surprised if like control decks or mid-range decks adopted that.
But it depends if I guess it's like the ultimate thing is it going to be worthwhile playing these bad cards to get some other bad cards if these bad cards are good in a certain situation? Like, there could definitely be, but I also feel like it could also go the other way where it's actually not worth it.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Because there's nothing like overtly powerful on either way. Like the learn cards, there's no real just like good playable learn cards by themselves. And the same for like the lessons. There's not just a lightning bolt that says lesson on it, for example.
You've got burst lightning. It's close enough, right? It's the obviously the same as lightning bolt.
It's not even burst lightning.
No,
it doesn't cost more to kick.
It costs more to kick, does more damage, but also doesn't go face.
Oh, yeah, there you go. But yeah, I could see it going either way. It's sort of a quite a hard one to evaluate, I think.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing that makes it really awkward or hard to evaluate as well is the actual thing for stuff like Hunt Specimen and Cram Session. Like, the cards are really bad, but they inadvertently also sort of, most of the time in the black decks, fit in somewhat. Like, Hunt for Specimen just provides you random shit that you can just sacrifice, which most black decks just want anyways. So it already masks it as, oh, this is sort of playable, it sort of fits on theme, but actually it's just crap. But it's like, how crap are the other half to make that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it is a really awkward one to evaluate for a mid-rangey control deck.
Yeah, well, a lot of the cards, like, they just sort of end up as like a demonic tutor, essentially, don't they? So it's like, how bad does your 2-mana spell have to be? But it's demonic tutor, so it's good enough.
Yeah, very interesting for sure. Definitely something we could see coming out again.
Yeah, I agree.
Callies was that we will see a learn lesson combo in the top 32. Again, I think that was sort of alluding to, it could be like Flickertron, it could be like Mogwarts and stuff like that.
Oh, I was going to say, what's the combo?
Yeah, like, because...
just a combo.
Yeah, I think it was more like... I think
it
was more like a combo with lessons and learns in, because like obviously Spy Walls was in like a Japanese event, ran Hunt for Specimen to get like lessons out the board, then you've obviously got Mogwarts with that sort of stuff. Yep. And then like Flickertron could run like Pop Quiz and, you know, right, random shit. Yeah. And then mine was that Hunt for Specimens will be in a main deck and lesson sideboard in the top 8. And that obviously didn't happen either. We have no lesson or learns just yet. Can you tell they were all focused on Avatar and the only thing anyone had to talk about was lesson and learns?
Yeah. I'm surprised like how few Avatar cards we've seen, to be fair. It's definitely not popped off as much as I expected.
It's because everyone's holding it for Geddon.
Well,
Copium.
maybe, yeah.
Copium. Hot takes for next week. We will alternate on this one because, you know, sick of talking. But these, we're just going to do 4 listener hot takes is kind of, we've sort of done our Geddon / Nationals hot takes with the Pauper thought as well. So just 4 listeners this week. You want to take it away?
Yeah, so the first one is that we'll see Poison Storm and the Delverless Monoblue Terrorist in Geddon's top 8. Yeah, I sort of like those as 2 picks. They're sort of like the picks we did at the start of the episode. The curveball top 8 pick, Monoblue, Delverless, and Poison Storm.
Yep. Well, it's good solid decks. Poison Storm's also a good one in a Jump Wildfire, right?
Yeah.
If you verse it. The next one is from Finn, and they said that Flickertron will top 8 Geddon. I could see that.
Another curveball.
And it's sort of pre-Murmur Mystic. It sort of was like a mainstay, right? That or Ultratron. It was like one Tron deck always top 8, and it was either Alter or Flicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's time for that to make a resurgence.
The next one from C-Pain is a curse on us all because they've said elves will have a poor conversion rate at Nationals.
Damn,
that would be very sad if that's the case.
Elves is awesome. Big up some elves. And the last one from Medican is Spy combo variant will win. Hopefully it is the better Spy variant of elves, of course. But I don't know what they're going to win either. They could win Geddon, they could win Nationals, they just wrote will win. So if it's
challenge next week.
If it just wins in general, to be fair, anyone playing Spy Elves is a win in my eyes. So just play Spy Elves in a league and that's a win, that counts. Anything else to add?
No, that's it from me.
Just want to say good luck to everyone who is playing in Geddon and Nationals. We will obviously cover your events next week. So good luck to you all if you are listening. Hope your testing is with you and all that sort of crap. Good luck to you all. Thank you all. Go on.
I was going to say, you guys are testing.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't think I can still remember how to play Magic.
You draw 7 at the start. Just like Uno. It's just like Uno. Thank you all for your continued support. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please do not forget to share it with your friends, your family, your local Pauper community, and even your sushi chef. That is all from us at Casting Commons. Until next time, and don't forget to stay hydrated. Peace!
Bye.